Welcome back to the Experience Land, a show where we dig deep into the real, raw, and extraordinary stories of ordinary humans. This is your host, Saurabh Sharma. If you guys tuned into our previous episode, you must be wondering that what am I doing to the same location? Well, you're absolutely right. I am at the CrossFit East Coast Gym. The host is same, the gym is same, but the guest is new, Danielle Thompson. She is the wife of Patrick Thompson, whom we featured in our last episode. She is the co-owner of CrossFit East Coast. And if you remember, I did promise that in this episode, we will be talking about the nutrition and who better we can choose other than the expert in nutrition, Daniel. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing really great. Thank you so much for asking and sharing your valuable time on your working day. So, nutrition is one of the important aspects where we left the last episode with Patrick. And I found that Patrick did share his best of knowledge, but when it comes to the expertise, you are someone that we definitely wanted to feature. So, for the audience's reference, talk about first what is nutrition and why it is important.
So nutrition is basically like what you're putting into your body, how you're fueling your body. It's super important not only for working out and getting yourself fit, but just everyday life, living a long, healthy life. Nutrition is absolutely everything.
And how do you think that how many people are not taking the right nutrition, regardless whether they work out or not? You see a lot of people miss on that part.
Oh my gosh, so many people. There's so much misinformation out there, and I just see so many people getting sidetracked with the new like fad diet or whatever the new thing is out there, and it's honestly pretty scary what people are doing out there.
So most of the time you see that anything that is coming in the market, people just want to try something that is new, but rather than actually getting the insights and knowing that why it is important, because everybody's bodies is different. So a product that would probably work for one person would not might work for another.
Yeah, and it really comes down to what your goals are. Everyone has different goals, and it really depends on what you're trying to achieve from that goal, and that's what you need to focus on for nutrition.
That is so true. So we will talk about the nutrition. Let's talk a little bit about you first. Who is Daniel?
Um, so I am obviously wife of Patrick Thompson. We have 3 small kids, 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 18-month-old. We have one on the way.
Relation.
Thank you. We're due in June. And yeah, we own CrossFit East Coast, and we absolutely love it.
That is so amazing. I mean, when I was recording Patrick, it was a feeling that this is not just a business, this is more like a family environment. I mean, you guys are so close to the people who work here. You are even helping them to be a coach or making their profession if they're interested. And there are people whom you have also helped opening their own CrossFit gyms.
Yeah.
So it's not just a matter that you are shaping their bodies, but you are
Mhm.
also shaping their careers.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about it?
It's amazing. I mean, it's very fulfilling. It's exactly what I wanted. Like prior to this, I was actually a dental hygienist for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was that's what I went to school for. I ended up getting my master's degree in dental hygiene, and I just felt like I wasn't I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was really doing what I was meant to do. Something was always missing from that. So
It is so unique that from a career that is so different, like from the dental career to the owning a gym.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure that being in the fitness, into the fitness must have been your passion, but choosing your career, 360-degree change, how easy was that?
it was hard. I mean, it was. So this was 3 years ago. I was due to have my daughter February. She was born February 22nd, and we were set to sign the papers March 1st. So just like a week later, and I remember when Patrick told me he was the manager of the gym for several years, head coach, manager. He ran the gym. I was always a part-time coach, so I would coach classes around my full-time schedule, and he wanted to grow in his role, and I knew he wanted to. I knew he could. So we talked about like him opening up his own gym, and I would obviously help out, but it was never really thought of me actually leaving my career.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity came for us to buy this gym, and like I said, I was about to have a baby, our second baby, and we were just like, let's just go all in. So I stopped working as a hygienist. I was on maternity leave at the time. We bought the gym. We built it up. We gave everything into it, and I haven't gone back since.
I can only imagine that people who generally think that, starting a business is always difficult, it's always challenging. But then changing your career to something that that is a little more promising than what you're investing in, not just from financial perspective, but emotional perspective as well, because you were due with your daughter. And these decisions are much harder to take or break while you are going through some big changes in life. And I can only imagine that this pressure would have been equally challenging for you and Patrick both. But today, when I look at your success, how you are evolving people with their with their challenges, it's so commendable. And I'm sure that you must be feeling that this is definitely a career that is not only changing you but also changing people.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing, is like seeing people change their lives every day is the most rewarding thing. So probably love it.
How do you see when people come and in the beginning they share that why they want to join CrossFit? How do you take their 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 fears out? Because I'm sure that generally when somebody is not in the best shape,
Yep.
they it is first of all a challenge for them to step out of the house
Yep.
and fighting their own battle, but then ensuring that they be regular in the gym. How do you ensure that?
I mean, I just always tell them, like, look at the class. Like, our classes are filled with everyday people. I mean, you never walk in and you're intimidated by the people that are in class. Um, it's just such a great community of people. Anyone can do it. Everything's scalable to their levels. And honestly, when they first come in, they first meet with Patrick, and he's just so real, and he truly, truly cares about everyone he meets with. He's really good at what he does, and they just get really comfortable after that conversation. And then they meet with me, we go through nutrition. And then by the time they get to class, they feel like they already belong here.
So it is a combination, because sometimes what I have personally felt that when you go to a gym, and especially to a gym where there are lots of equipments, machines, uh, the first time comer would not know that how to use those machines. They would not know that how to, function them.
Yep.
And then either they get into the choices of looking at the information on YouTube or to pay extra money for the personal trainer.
Exactly.
But I find that with CrossFit, because the model is to have a coach with you and to guide you, to teach you.
Yep.
And that is a transparency that generally gyms do not share. I mean, they kind of share their in-hidden perspective that, all right, you come to the gym, you can work out and we'll be there. But then at the end of the day, you have to hire personal trainers. But with CrossFit, I think that the difference that I feel that here, somebody is there to teach you. Somebody is there to stand with you and guide you that what mistakes you are making.
Exactly.
And with the power of nutritionist, I think that this is, again, not very common practice that other gyms are following.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Absolutely. I mean, our coaches are absolutely amazing. Very good coaches. They make you feel comfortable. They teach you what you're supposed to be doing. And then everything we do, like I said, is scalable. So if we're doing a barbell movement, our newer members will do a dumbbell or kettlebell instead. And we'll always go over the movement. We'll teach you how to do it. And it's just that you literally just walk in, you show up, and everything else, like, we just take it from there.
So let's talk a little bit more about the nutrition. Physical is something that Patrick take care, and I have seen your videos. Even you take classes. You also, share people of how to function their bodies. At the same time, nutrition is something that where you are expert at. How do you make your diet chart plans, or how do you ensure that this person is eating right?
Yep. So it first of all depends on what their goal is. So if they're trying to lose weight, we have a specific template that I follow, but at the same time, it's very customized to that person. So, like, does this person have allergies? So are they a postpartum mom that's breastfeeding? Are they, I don't know. It really depends on what they have going on. You really customize it to each and every person.
So it differentiates with each personality.
Exactly. Yeah. They're trying to gain, same thing. How much are they trying to gain? What have they tried in the past? What worked? What hasn't worked? we find we really work with them to make it work for their lifestyle.
So one common thing that you always find every person is sharing the same problem that you come up with. What is that one problem?
Oh, they don't have enough time, or they're too busy, or
Okay.
yeah,
So it's like why they are not working out, why
exactly.
they are not doing things,
Why they have to get fast food instead of cooking at home.
and how do you motivate them?
So, I mean, I just try to like meet them halfway. I mean, I'm not like mean about it, but you're always gonna be busy. Life's always gonna be hard. It's never gonna get easy. So you have to figure out how to make it work in this moment. And small decisions, small changes every day leads to a lifetime of change.
So it's a matter that you help them looking at that what is the life is all about. I mean, you would always have challenges in life. You would always have. I mean, work is an ongoing process. You can never stop.
Exactly.
But compromising on something because of which everything is into the existence is your own body. If that is not what something that you're going to invest your time in,
Exactly.
then there's nothing that is worth for.
Exactly. Like I work a lot with getting leads in the door. So getting people to just show up, and I always get the excuse, I'm too busy. Now's not a good time. I just had a woman I met with this morning for nutrition. She ended up signing up, but he just had a baby 4 months ago, and life's really hard. She's got a lot going on. And I told her, I was like, it's not going to get easier. So might as well come in now, do it while you can now. And then um, you're going to only reap the benefits from there.
And who is a better example than being you? I mean, you are the mother of three. You are expecting the fourth baby, and still you are, coming gym on a regular basis. It's one thing that because you're coming, it's your business. But on the other aspect, I see your videos working out on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And what I feel that other than the business, it is the real time. It is the real life example that everyone should follow and share with their loved ones. That this is a lifestyle. This is not an addition or
Yeah.
or kind of extra effort that you're putting on your day to day timings. This should be a regular day practice.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely needs to become a lifestyle. Everything else has to fit into your lifestyle of working out, eating healthy.
Uh, having a partner in the house and having the partner in the gym, how is it different?
Um, I mean, Patrick's my best friend, so I mean, we love spending time together. We don't get sick of each other, so I mean, at home, even if like we try to separate business from home, but at the same time, like this is our life. So like, if we have a client that we're both working with, and we're trying to figure out what the best approach will be, we'll talk about it at home all the time. Um, and it's just our life, we just love it.
So so I'm seeing that you and it is on your posts as well on Instagram and Facebook that you call Patrick as your best friend.
Hmm.
How did that best friendship move to the marriage?
Well, it's funny. The way we met is so I started CrossFit back in 2012, and I was working at a gym, and then 2014 he actually started coaching at that gym.
Wow.
So that's how we met, and then yeah, we just hit it off from there, and here we are.
That is so cute. It's more of a story that not many people, successfully able to live from the point that you don't know anybody, like you didn't have a connections, but then meeting at the gym and now owning the gym with a beautiful life with three beautiful kids, both one is all the way. It's such an amazing story and inspiring for somebody who is trying to establish the business and looking for converting their passion into profession. Danielle and Patrick are the true examples because they chose a life to make a 360-degree change when it was not an easy decision to make. And today they have converted this venture to a success and shaping everybody's life that is coming in here.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, how does it feel to your family now? Because I'm sure that when you were making changes in your career, they would have had some questions that you studied in a different field and now you are going to a different direction altogether.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our families are both very supportive of everything we do, but they definitely thought we were a little crazy at the beginning. Like, or not crazy, but the unknown. Like, what if it doesn't work? What if it fails? What if all those questions?
And those all questions are valid.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. But it was never scary. It was always like, we're going to make it work regardless. Like, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it.
It
So
was like there is no plan B.
there's no other option. I mean, I always had the option, and I still do, I guess, of going back to that.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to do. So we're not going to go there.
Wow. Is that a story that you also share with, motivating people here? Because I'm sure that people who will come here would also come with the fact that maybe I would not make 45 minutes today, or I would not be able to do the steppers, the jumping, because I'm not good at it. I'm sure that people have their own physical and mental challenges. But how do you ensure that once you know that what this person is trying to achieve, how do you ensure that they absolutely finish that journey and reach that success?
That's a great question. I just celebrate the little milestones. Like, if someone comes in here, they've never jumped on a box or stepped on a box, and they do it for the first time, we always celebrate it. It's just every little milestone they hit is a huge achievement, and the result that people get here is absolutely amazing, and that just speaks for itself. So it's just makes it so they just keep coming back for more.
One particular story that is so close to your heart of somebody who, when came in, was completely broken down, and you made a huge difference in changing that person's life.
Gosh,
I'm sure there would have been many, so it's hard to pick one.
there are many. I mean, I can think of one woman. She's in her 50s. She got referred actually by someone who was a member here, and I talked to her on the phone, and she was like, "Do you think I'll fit in? Like, I'm older. Like, I'm not a great athlete. I'm just worried I'm not going to fit into the gym." And now she absolutely changed her life. Lost a ton of weight. Made so many friends here. She absolutely fit in, and it's just incredible to see that, because she was scared that it wasn't gonna be right for her. So
That is so amazing. It's a feeling that you can only feel when you experience it in person, because you know it how the person is entering in the gym when they're leaving back home. There's a smile on their face that yes, today I worked out, I got my sweat out, and that's the best feeling to being able to out of your box. And you are doing that on every single day, on a repeated basis.
Yep.
And this is not just the people who are coming here as doing the workout, but it is a change that you also see in your coaches, who basically initially were the students,
Yeah.
but then today they are starting their careers as coaches or people who are also owning the gyms.
Yeah. I mean, you don't think about it on the day-to-day life, but it is incredible, and it's really cool to see like members who love it so much. They love it so much. They get such a good experience. They get really good results. Now they want to help other people get that too. So it's really cool to see that kind of journey go.
Like Patrick and I were talking about, and we were also showcasing different pictures that 6 weeks people are, making a huge transformations, losing 20 to 25 pounds.
Yep.
How much of that success depends on working out versus nutrition?
It's funny you ask that. I tell people every day, 90% nutrition, 10% workouts.
Wow.
I know it blows your mind.
I heard the calculation of 70% is in the kitchen and 30% is in the gym.
No, it's definitely more than that. You just cannot outwork a bad diet. So you see people all the time, they work out every day, 2 hours a day, killing themselves in the gym, but they look exactly the same.
Wow.
Because they're not eating according to their goal.
And for some people, it also the fact that they are not going to eat right until and unless they would not work out, because then they know that, all right, well, today I spent an hour in the gym, I work really hard, and if I'm going to eat something bad, then it's going to just compensate with that. So how do you ensure that recovery is one of the aspects that Patrick and I were talking about, that how much you need to work out. But when people do get motivated, they work out extra hours and then forget about the recovery. Then they feel that, all right, well, I have worked for 2 hours. Now I'm feel free to eat anything.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it does. Honestly, we recommend people work out 3 days a week. The 3 days a week in our CrossFit classes is all you need to lose 20 or 30 pounds in 6 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Still in 6 weeks?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Like I said, 90% nutrition. It doesn't be perfect, but you have to be on your game. I mean, I have people send me their meals every day.
Yeah.
And as long as they follow the plan that I give them, they're going to hit their goals.
That is so commendable, Because generally when people think about it, I mean, I was shocked when I looked at those pictures, and I'm going to show this on this podcast as well, that how could that person lose this much of weight in 6 weeks? And there's a difference that people always get confused between the fat loss and the weight loss side. Would you like to talk a little bit about
Absolutely.
that?
So I always tell people it's not weight loss, it's fat loss. We don't only just check your weight, but we check your body fat percentage or your muscle percentage. So as you lose weight, you lose body fat, but we have to make sure the muscle goes up at the same time.
This is what something that people generally end up losing
Yeah,
if they go with the weight loss.
exactly. Yeah, but they just go run themselves to death on the treadmill or the elliptical and they stop eating and you're going to lose weight for sure, but you're not going to lose it the right way. So
That is so true. I've seen people, you know, coming down of maybe 1/4 of the weight that they had extra, losing weight in 4 to 5 months. And yes, they are looking better, but internally they don't know that how badly they have affected their body. Like they have lost all the muscles, their skin is loose now, and it's a matter of still they are living in that fear that if I'm going to eat as what I used to before, then I will gain the weight again. And this is not a factor that you can run it forever. You need a diet chart, you need a daily practice in your meal that you can sustain forever.
exactly.
How do you feel that people who lose weights like these wrong practices end up getting back, soon again?
So, I mean, people who go through our program, they don't just lose the weight and then they give up. It becomes a lifestyle. So they lose the weight, but they're already in a habit of working out, eating clean, and they just keep that going. It's easy at that point, like maintaining is super easy. You just keep your lifestyle going, you keep working out 3 days a week. You don't have to be as strict with the nutrition plan, but like staying on track, knowing where your weight is, where you should be, it just keeps you like held accountable.
I think it also makes a lot of difference based on what and when they are trying to achieve. Like, for example, if somebody is having a competition and they are looking to uh, get into a certain shape within 4 or 5 months, then there's a different, diet plan. If somebody is looking, hey, I want to make this thing as my lifetime practice.
Exactly.
So then the diet would probably not be, that strict. So it's purely depends on what you're trying to achieve.
Yep, what your goals are. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Talk about one person that has come to you with the irrelevant approach that I need to get 6 packs or 8 pack abs within a certain period of time. And because you're also running a business, you also have to ensure that you have to catch a hold of people to ensure that yes, you can help them, but also to guide them that what you're dreaming is not
Of
realistic.
course. I mean, I always set realistic goals. Like, I always ask what your like end result is, and that's usually the 6 pack abs. But for instance, like in 6 weeks, all right, let's try to get 20 pounds off. Once we hit that goal, we'll set a new goal. Let's try to get the next month, we'll try to get 15 pounds off. And then we'll just keep setting small goals from there. So I don't let them set these crazy, unrealistic expectations from the beginning because
What is that about the 6 pack? Like, you just don't get it. Look, I mean, that's the part of your body that it's not even visible. I know that, once you're lean, things are going to be back in shape, but it's more about the fascination with 6 pack and 8 packs, because people generally see a movie or, series and they want to be like that. Like, even if you see the professional athletes, they would look completely different when they are off competition.
exactly. Personally, um, I mean, I usually do when I'm not pregnant, have a 6 pack, but it's not because I'm trying to. And honestly, it makes me more self-conscious than anything. It's not what people like. When I was in my best shape, like arms were ripped, 6 pack abs, I was more self-conscious then than like normal life, if that makes sense. Just because like people don't make comments when you're looking like normal, I guess. But if you're looking one way, like too athletic or too strong or whatever, people make comments all the time, and it's not what you think it is. It's more uncomfortable than anything, to be honest.
I think it's also a reality check that people who dream, that all right, that's a body that I'm trying to achieve within that amount of time. They also then get the appreciation that how much it takes to be in that shape.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier for people to say that, all right, well, that's a body he made it for a particular movie, or that's or because they have a business, that's why they have to get in there.
Yeah.
But eventually, it is you who have to put that effort. It's you who have to fight your own battle and come in that shape and feeling that proud moment that, yes, what I was thinking, I'm a really different person now.
Absolutely.
And I also feel that coaches like you and Patrick plays a huge and tremendous role in motivating people, because making people regular is the key of achieving this success. Like you rightly said that you have lost weights and you gain weight, but the key is to keep sustain
Yeah.
and making it as your daily lifestyle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's more to it than just getting the specific body that you want. I mean, health is the ultimate like quest in my eyes. Like you can like Patrick was saying, you can look like you're the healthiest person by your body, but that doesn't mean that you're actually healthy. And it's not as fulfilling as you think unless you actually have that full package.
And I feel that Patrick and you are blessed to have each other, because not only you are the business partners and husband and wife, it's more of a matter that your thought processes matches a lot when it comes to the fitness. And we talked also about Patrick's mental health, and the credit that he gives the most is you.
Yeah.
And I know that it was a struggling time for him. Talk about you. What was your motivation to fight that time?
My motivation was to get him healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew that wasn't him. He wasn't asking for any of that. He didn't deserve any of that. And my motivation every day was just, how can I get him better?
I mean, that's the partnership that every person would expect in their partners. And I feel that this is a realistic story that not many people, get to live. And not everybody is blessed to have a partner like that, being supportive, and not only in the personal life but in the business as well. And I think that anybody who is looking to make their passion into profession, one or the other way, you have to step out of your boxes. You have to have that belief that there is no plan B. Have to work on your plan A.
Exactly.
How you see when people come together and not only shaping their careers, but also making connections, like you and Petra. That's how you guys met. Do you see something like that happening in the gym? Do you have any?
All the time. Absolutely. Oh gosh, we have a coach. A coach. He used to coach with us. He does fill in sometimes, but he met his now wife here.
Wow.
Actually, multiple coaches. There's a lot. There's probably 4 or 5 people off the top of my head I can just think of who've met their now husband or wife here. As an adult, you don't really have that many opportunities to meet people. I mean, I guess if you go out to a bar or something,
Right.
as a person who lives a healthy lifestyle, that's not where you want to meet someone.
Exactly.
For me, at least. So, meeting in the gym is it's perfect.
That is a very different approach that I'm sure is going to make a lot of people aware that if you're looking to evolve your relationship healthily.
Yeah.
I mean, a bar and a restaurant could be one place, but that's not going to be a long term.
Is that the person you want? Exactly.
Exactly. So you got to ask the question that what is you are looking in your partner, and how you want to shape your body. Again, we are not trying to be away from the topic of being fit to giving the dating lessons, but at the same time, I mean, this is a reality that you come to the gym and you meet people with like-minded, and then that itself work as a motivation to ensure that what journey you have started, you finish to the end.
Absolutely. Yep.
That is so good. So any particular experience that you had wherein you tried your level best, but the person could not make it out to what they were trying to achieve, and then that's when you also get the reality check that as a coach, you like as a for working out, people have their limits, but as a coach, you also have limits that you can hit.
I mean, nutrition-wise, the toughest clients that I deal with are the ones that have suffered with eating disorders.
Okay.
Because there's so much more to that than just me telling them how to eat. There's a whole nother layer to that. So I have so much compassion for those people. It's not their fault. They're not asking for that. But I really try my best to just remind them, like, you're beautiful, like, you look great. what you're doing is awesome. And you're going to get past this. And I can think of one person who really struggled with that. And she did end up feeling really good about herself at the end of it. So it was really cool to see.
It was more about the fact that having the belief that yes, you can do it.
Yeah.
And people, gets off their journey in half circle itself because either they're not doing things right. Like you rightly said that yes, you can work 2 hours, in the gym, but then doesn't mean that if you are eating wrong,
Yeah.
then it's going to help you any.
For sure.
And the practice that Danielle as a nutritionist is helping them what to write, but she also ensures that she gets the regular update. Like you said, that you're getting the emails, text messages, WhatsApp pictures that what time are they eating right. So that is the relation that you are building with your gym members. That hey, you are there with them. I mean, if they are getting any confusion that once you reach home, you don't have a peanut butter, what could be the substitute? If you don't have a protein, what could be the substitute? Because everything is there in your kitchen. It's just that you need to choose what you need.
Definitely. Yeah.
One product that you generally see in everybody's kitchen, but they don't know that how important it is.
Oh boy.
It's like you see that that's something that you should consume on a daily basis.
I mean, bananas for sure.
Okay.
Fruit. Fruit. People are scared of fruit. I love fruit's awesome. Everyone needs it.
Nutritions that you can find in the non-vegetarian food. How can a vegetarian replicate that?
Oh, good question. So, I have guides for vegetarians and vegans as well.
Right.
So, I mean, there's all the like Beyond Meat, all the fake stuff out there. I tell them to stay far away from that. That's not healthy at all. I'm big on ingredients. Like if you read an ingredient list and you don't understand what any of those words are, then they probably shouldn't be eating that. So we mainly just stick to the basics. You don't need as much protein as you think you need. So I try to tell people that as well. Especially vegans and vegetarians, they're always scared that they need so much protein. But to be honest, like Patrick and I don't really eat meat throughout the week. We eat it on the weekends.
Wow.
Yeah. So we, even throughout all my 4 pregnancies, we just find it throughout the week. We just go fruits and vegetables really hard. Maybe on the weekends, if we go away, we'll have meat. But that's kind of what we do.
That's a myth that people generally think that if they're having a chicken and meat on a regular basis, that's the only source of protein that they're getting. And sometimes people also get into the digestion issues as well because they are eating meat in a regular day-to-day diet. But and for vegan and vegetarians, it becomes even harder because they think that if they are eating vegetables, yes, they're getting the protein, but they have to either eat extra to get extra protein, but then they also have to work extra to lose that or to compensate with that eating habit. And like you rightly said, that it's equally important for people to not go with the picture of the brand that they are seeing on the cover and assume that that's what is going to happen. It's all about reading it on the backside and check out the ingredients.
Exactly.
That is it really there for your body?
Yep.
How much sugar is there?
Yep.
How much fat?
How much fat, exactly. Yeah, people always send me, I tell them to send me the label. They send me the front of the package. I'm like, the marketing doesn't do anything for me. Send me the actual ingredient list. Send me the nutrition facts on the back.
So you basically ask them, all right, you have bought something. It's not something that I could control, but I need to look at that, what is in there. And you could probably have that, but the quantity is going to be decided by you. So do you advise people to have that weighing scale to ensure that, how much they need to eat? Because initially it's a challenge. Like now you are in a practice, so you know that what 1 scoop means, what 2 scoops, will gonna make a difference. But there are these people who have the right amount of food in front of them.
Yep.
But eating in the right proportion is another aspect.
Yeah, that's a good question. I honestly stay away from scales with people, food scales. I mean, if people already have a food scale and they like weighing and measuring their food, they can. But it honestly creates more bad habits than good habits.
Wow.
Because you become obsessed with that. And I mean, I happen to need, I went through it myself. I went through a phase of counting my macros. I'm not sure if you've heard of that before. But what it does is it makes it so like you're scared to eat food that's not in your macro plan.
Exactly.
And I don't like creating that for people. So I like to create a healthy relationship with food. So instead of weighing and measuring, what we do is like palm-sized portions or fist-sized portions. So even if someone's out somewhere, they can still have their right portion without having to have that measuring cup or having to have that food scale on them.
I think it's a matter of you are bringing the reality. Like people have a lot of myths, and I'm sure that this is. I mean, I myself am learning a lot because these are the things that even I had a different belief. But now that's the difference when you sit with a nutritionist and you learn that everything that you see on social media, people are performing, influencers are coming, eating, and and giving the benefit to the products to the companies, but that is not true. And people like Danielle are there to help you out, and thank you for making the regular videos and sharing the regular updates, because that's the approach that if there are influencers who are trying to develop their pages or their social media platforms just to support a product based company, you are applying a different approach altogether of being to reality. Like, it is making people aware that you need to know what you're eating.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that if somebody is selling eggs and chickens as a right approach to get the protein, there are multiple ways of getting protein.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, these influencers are getting paid to promote products. So obviously they're going to promote whatever is going to give them money. So it's scary, it's sad, but that's the world we live in right now.
That's one thing that people also, kind of end up leaving slow in the journey, that, all right, going to the gym, it's one thing that I can go ahead and work out, but then there's going to be lots of cost involved by getting the workout clothes, then, the weighing scale. It's like there are different editions, because this is a kind of industry that people have now turned into, that if you are working out, then you need to add another 10 expenses, in your list, which also kind of work as a demotivation for people. All right, well, I can go for a run in my nearby park or ground, but that is not what something that keep you consistent, because you would not have a coach there to help you. You would not have a nutritionist there to tell you that what you're doing right.
Exactly.
And if you really are serious in order to make a big change in your life, you got to have a right coach in place.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And I believe that when it comes to the coaching, it's itself a profession that that helps you out to stay motivated, because generally people come, they achieve their goals, then once they achieve, they think that now their body is permanent, like they kind of get bad into those habits. But as a coach, it is also a message that if you are trying to be a coach, then it's itself a self satisfactory moment, that not because you would want or you would not want, but being in the industry, you would always have to be in that shape. That itself works out. Right. So one message that you would have for people who are living in the myth of what they can eat, what they cannot eat, but how they should approach the direction of eating right.
One message, I mean, like you said, definitely get a coach for sure. And like, look at what your overall goals are. Do you just want that perfect body, or do you want to actually live a long, healthy life?
Wow.
I think that's really what's more important. And then the body comes with that. So take care of yourself, take care of your health. And I think everything else will fall into place from there.
So the one myth that I definitely encounter is, it's not the 70%, it's the 90% of your diet that is definitely going to make a huge difference. And for that, yes, you can go to YouTube, you can go to different platforms, but you would not get the right authentic information unless and until you would not meet a certified coach like Danielle.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, how many times you see that people are going to the coaches, but they're not as up to date as you are, like checking their emails, checking their daily food timings. And that requires a lot to be consumed with them, and ensuring, because it's not that you are only involved in telling them what is right. It's also about convincing that this is not what something you need to eat.
Right.
Because we all are humans. We always crave for something that, be it pastries, cakes, or something that, yes, you can eat, but it's all about the right quantity and right time.
Exactly.
And there are substitutes as well.
Yes. I mean, I always tell people, the more you go off the plan, the longer it's going to take you to get to your goal. You're not going to completely derail yourself, but it's just going to take you longer to get there. So how bad do you want it and how fast do you want to get there?
Right.
So
That is so true. So how is life now? When we talked a lot about gym, let's talk a little bit of how life is with the three kids at home. Because I'm sure that, like Patrick, it's one journey that you're living in the gym, shaping other people's life. But now you have three kids as well, both on the way. How does it feel? When you go back home, you're tired. Then with the kids itself is a lot of strength that is required to work, especially when they're young right now.
yeah, I mean, it's funny, like what we do and teach and preach in the gym is exactly how we live our life. So it's not like we go home to this other lifestyle. It's like we just continue what we're doing and our kids eat this way. We're very active as a family and it's just part of our life, like we just take what we teach here and we bring it home to our kids.
That is so true. Generally, it is the habits that people say that kids develop in the very beginning itself of what you're eating, right? And I was amazed to see one of the videos that, and I'm also going to share this on podcast of your son, Junior Patrick, is he was riding his small little dirt bike. And if you guys have checked out the last podcast, Patrick shared one of his passions is riding the dirt bike. And it's like, like father, like son. So the right footprints that you see in your parents, that's what something that the kids always tend to get.
Exactly.
And it only tells about how Patrick and would have learned it from your parents. And that's how the chain is still continuing. And so somebody who is probably not confident or not, giving themselves a lot of right, well, I can live my life that way. Well, you're not only impacting your life, you are also passing the same message to your kids as well.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
if you think that you can do it for yourself, do it for your kid,
Yep.
for your family.
Exactly. I mean, I see it every day. People, they'll do this for themselves and they'll follow the plan, but then they're getting their kids McDonald's or they're getting fast food for their kids, and it just like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like you're doing something for your kids that you wouldn't even do for yourself. So why would you like teach them that and give them that? And I just feel like even if like our kids, I mean, they're not picky because we've done this from the beginning. So this is the way they eat. Like my son will see a Burger King commercial and he's like, "Oh, mama, that's bad. Like
Right.
that's not good. That's not healthy." So he knows that that's not healthy food, and he's not gonna even want to attempt to have it.
So it's more about you didn't even let them, live the zone of comparison that if that kid is going to the McDonald's and eating that ice cream or the burger, then why am I not eating? It's more like you have educated them beforehand.
Exactly.
And that's not the right thing.
Like they can go to birthday parties. They don't even care that the other kids are eating that. They know it's not healthy.
Wow.
And they'll have
Small. They're 3 years, 4 years old.
yeah, my 5-year-old exactly. And we'll bring like food that he likes and that is still like we'll bring his ice cream or we'll bring like the pizza I make and he loves it and he couldn't care less what anyone else is doing.
Wow.
So I mean
That is so commendable. I mean, for a 5-year-old kid to follow this practice at his age, that is so commendable. And that's a message that is also going to pass to your other kids as well.
exactly.
It's like what the elder brother is doing. We need to follow the same.
They all do it. Exactly.
That is a very wise example that you are sharing. And I'm sure that families who are watching this podcast is going to learn a lot because I see many people, are complaining about the kids. Either they are super busy on their phones, always on rhymes, and then the aggression increases if you don't give them the food that they're looking for. Parents generally, leave themselves in a position that if they are not giving them what they're asking, then the kids are making that.
Yeah.
Or they're shouting or being.
Exactly. Yep.
So, did you not face those challenges at all?
I mean, my kids will like scream for food, but my son's screaming for a smoothie or he's screaming for her. But they're wanting a banana. Yeah, they still want their food, but they want the right foods because we just
They're screaming, but they're screaming for the right thing.
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
So it's not like that the kids would be away from the factors is that the kids should be doing. No, kids should scream, kids should make the mess. But it's Tiara that he should do it for right.
Like my son's birthday, we just had his birthday party, and he wanted me to make him sushi. I make sushi at home, and that's what he wanted was sushi. And he was in heaven. He absolutely loved it.
Wow.
So
That is so cool. And I can only imagine that, people who generally think that having kids definitely is a lot of work, but at the same time, teaching them what is right, what's not right is another challenge.
Yeah.
And you being a coach, it's a blessing for your kids, giving them the information that they would not need to step out of the house.
Yeah.
And I feel that it is something that every family, should have one coach in the family, so that at least one person is enough to, take care of everybody. And it is not only the impact that you're making for your kids, but for your parents, for people around you, is a huge deposit to me. Right? So with that note, I would ask Danielle to give one last message about how does she feel about this concept of the experience plan, where we are sharing regular stories of regular people. Uh, and how do you see that? Is this making a difference with people's life of being appreciative of what they are doing? Generally, people get stuck in the influence of if that person has achieved something, if that celebrity is big enough, then maybe I need to copy that part. But this is like on ground, real raw stories of people that what the real people are doing in their life,
For sure.
and getting the opportunity to appreciate them. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think this is great. I mean, in life, I think it comes down to perspective. Like, yeah, having 3 kids, one on the way, owning a business, it's all hard. It's a hard task to handle, but it comes down to perspective. I mean, what's harder is going through what we've gone through and like Patrick's struggles and trying to get him healthy, and that's way harder than this. So for us, I mean, every day is a blessing that we have the opportunity to raise 3 kids, 4 kids, own a business, change lives. And that just makes it worth it for us. And we absolutely love it. Look forward to it every day.
That is so good, guys. And this is why I always, try and pass this message that don't crave for things that you do not have. Be thankful of what you have, because every day is important. If Danielle and Patrick make this successful, you guys definitely can. And people who are coming to the CrossFit East Coast, a big thanks and shout out to them as well for supporting on the previous podcast. And I'm sure that this podcast is also going to bring a lot of awareness, a lot of education towards the myth. I myself have learned a lot about things that that Danielle shared. And in person, if you're gonna meet her, you can definitely call her. There are online classes that you guys offer. You also educate people who are not living in the same state. You can take web classes and night charts. Definitely, it's going to be a lot of help. And if you ever try to pursue your career as a coach, definitely Danielle and Patrick can be the right coaches for that as well. They have helped multiple people, not only shaping their body, but shaping their careers, helping them to start their own CrossFit gyms. Big round of applause for you and Patrick. That
Thank
what
you.
you guys are doing.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mhm.